are you here today?
Because my father's buried here.
Was he an army?
Here in the U.S.A.F.
I see. What war did he serve in?
He served in the Korean War and World War II. He was a bombardier. So it would be 52. So we're here to pay respects not only to him, but to all the people who fight for freedom and liberty in our country. Much against the grain of what's happening currently in our administration, I find these people heroes, not enemies of the state.
Well, who would see our American war dead as enemies of our state?
Socialists and communists, people that don't believe that we should fight for our freedom, that we should submit to jihad, Islam, and become part of the global community and not be the leader of the free world.
And do you think once we pull out of Afghanistan and Iraq, do you think that will end the war against the U.S.?
No. I don't believe that if we pull out that will end the war, because the people that are bent on jihad and against democracy and any types of freedoms, it's still there. I mean, the issues of whether we should be there or not, I don't know at this point, but I think that we're going to have a much bigger war to fight with Iran. And today Israel was being attacked by a flotilla of boats that were filled with ammunition, guns for Hamas and Hezbollah, and the world community is attacking Israel for they didn't overreact. They said that what they were going to do, they did it. They got on the boat, they were attacked, soldiers were thrown overboard, people were hit with pipes, guns were stolen. It was self-defense, but these were people, I mean, freedom is fighting today, so we have to remember that freedom isn't free. And all these people died, whether in war or after they served, for the democracy of me being able to say what I'm saying right now. And unless we fight for it, we're going to lose it. Cut.
Where does your son live?
Tel Aviv.
What country?
Israel.
What does he do?
He just finished his 3 years of service in Givati. He was a sergeant commander in the I.D.F. and now he's going to Bar Ilan.
University?
Yes.
What did he do in the Givati Brigade?
He fought in Gaza. He was a sharpshooter and in the infantry.
Are you saying an American boy from Southern California enlisted in the Israeli army who didn't have to?
Yes, because my father, who's buried here, was enlisted in the U.S.A.F. and was a major when he passed away, and had to lie about his religion because as a Jew, he was not going to be allowed to fly as an Air Force major because at that time and now the Air Force was extremely anti-Semitic. So on his dog tags where it said religion, it said none. On my father's plaque here, there's no Star of David.
Why not?
Because he couldn't be openly a Jew when he was fighting for freedom and democracy as a U.S. soldier.
And what was the motivation that motivated your son to go enlist in the Israeli army?
Because my father was a soldier, my husband was in the Navy, and I'm the daughter of people who believe in serving for freedom and democracy.
And what's the connection between Israel's struggle and America's struggle?
Freedom and democracy.
What do you mean?
Well, people in Israel are fighting for freedom of a democratic country in the Middle East, while Americans are fighting for democracy in the Middle East and in America.
Is the enemy of Israel connected to the enemy of America?
Yes.
What's the relationship between those two?
Radical Islam. And all Islam is radical. I don't believe that there can be any moderation in Islam. I think the only Muslims that I know that are non-radical have left Islam. I'm sure there are Muslims who practice Islam, but I'm sure if they were called to jihad and it was the difference between them or America, they would choose Islam. That's the difference. As a Jew, my father chose America while he was still a Jew, but he fought for what he believed was right so that Jews like us can still practice Judaism in this country, and that we will always have this freedom, so it's something we have to fight for.